WayneBreezie, Mo's Nose, Peachy, Fair to Gone.
It's about that time, everybody turn your TVs on. The Mo's Nose, Peachy, Breezy, and Fair to Gone. They keep it nitty gritty when they bring you 9 to tone. We two gorillas, silverback, 9 silver
You know it's
hoes.
busting the discussion cause we get it in. Every time you know we grinding, I was 8 to 10. We always play to win. The faithful going hard. It's WayneBreezie, Peachy, Mo's Nose, and Fair to God. Let's get it.
Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. We outline players up in chalk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Line is tall. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall.
Yeah, 49er faithful, what's going on? The Niners get their first preseason victory on this evening. It's a new day. I didn't even realize that it's a new day. Peachy, what's going on? I'm looking at the clock like, oh, shoot, it's tomorrow, today.
Mm-hmm.
For us, it's still the same day for everybody.
Yeah. You guys on the West Coast are lucky.
Yeah.
You have a while to go before you reach your new day.
So they got a few hours, right? What time is it? 9 o'clock. They got a few hours. They get to still chill in the past while we take a sip into the future, a little dip into the future. But listen, Peachy, the Niners, they went out there, they got the win, they found a way to win. How you feeling? Like how you feeling about what you actually got a chance to witness on national TV, because it was on national TV today?
Yeah, it definitely was. I was happy to be able to at least chill and like watch a game on TV, because being down here in the South, we don't get that luxury too often to see the 49ers. So that was really good that, Fox did that. So kudos to Fox. Thank you very much, Fox. We really appreciate that so much. Do we ever do much say? It was really cool. It was a very exciting game. So there was a lot of hype in the game in the very beginning with Brock playing. When I started kind of like, whenever I saw all the people that were out, I saw all the starters that were out. And I was like, oh, okay, so Kyle is going to put Brock out here with just depth. And there's hardly like no starters really out there. And that's wild. A lot of these players like he didn't even practice with. So therefore, I was like, okay, Kyle.
Yeah, but if Brock is the super duper quarterback, he's supposed to make these players better, right? Like that's what quarterbacks that are. I think that's what the argument is. Does Brock need an all-star cast to be good? And I mean, we can't. I already know how the national media gonna spin it. I already know. I already know how the national media gonna spin it. But here's my thing for national media, right? At least let this dude go out there with his starting offensive line. If he was out there with his starting offensive line and then that second team unit, I beg to differ. He would have played a lot different. Brock looked terrible. He didn't look rusty. He looked off. He just looked off. Like his timing looked off on a lot of his throws. But pressure. It was pressure. Like he wasn't trying to extend he did try to extend the play, but he wasn't really trying to scramble is what I'm trying to say. Like he was trying to make the throw under the pressure. He took a couple of hits, 2 from freaking Chase Young. Peachy, was you screaming at the TV when Chase Young hit our boy Brock?
Yeah, I was really upset about that. I can't say what I said, but all I'm going to say is Chase Young trying to be all, whatever, he was trying to be, whether it was the Niners' revenge game for not bringing him back. I'm not exactly sure what in the world, but he was on another level and he was trying to do some damage. Now, some people felt like that he was just trying to make the squad to impress his coaches. But at the same time, I felt like there was a little in there too with that. So it is what it is. But I mean,
he wasn't even supposed to be ready to play.
Right,
and he
exactly.
defied those odds.
Yes.
Right? So I'm not mad at Chase Young. I like the Niners didn't want to pay him. The Saints paid him. And he's gonna get an opportunity to go out there and be who he thinks, he is, who he feels he could play. Like I actually like it. Like I want it. My tweet today was that my eyes were gonna be on the offensive line, the starters and the depth. Now, for people that out there that are dumb, when I say starters, we clearly had Colt McKivitz starting. So that's a starter. I want people to understand he's a starter. As far as Dominic Pooney, I feel like he's a starter too, even though he's not labeled the starter yet, but they did have one starter. Now, the rest was depth. I wanted to see, and I remember telling Mike, I said, look, on the B.A.M show, I said, yo, I really want to see how well the offensive line fares against the Saints' defensive line. Their starters were going to go up against our depth. I didn't expect our depth to be this magnificent group. I didn't think that the Saints blitzed a lot. I thought that their defensive line was just getting pressure up front off of what we thought our offensive line was. Not good.
Wow.
Right?
McKivitz disappointed me a lot. I felt like for someone who is a starter and is experienced on this team, I felt like that he could have brought more. I know it's preseason and people are like, oh, he's just taking it easy because of whatever, but you got your starting quarterback out there. So you can't take it easy. Like you can't just
see, that's not fair to say.
Take plays off like that. Like you gotta go full speed.
Who are you saying is taking plays off? I'm confused.
No. What I was saying is that I had seen on social media where some people were saying, that, well, you guys are being too hard on McKivitz because, it is just preseason. You know what I'm saying? So of course, they're not gonna go as hard as he, that and all this other. And
he wasn't getting Brock killed though. McKivitz played well when Brock was in the game. So need people to go back and watch that. It was the left side, which is the side you would expect to struggle because there's no Trent Williams.
Yeah.
And it was the middle too. It was right up the middle. The pressure came right up the middle. And the left side didn't look really good. So McKivitz I don't know if he was tired, but McKivitz, you're going to play a full game. But when Dobbs was out there, because Dobbs was moving around.
Yeah.
So, Dobbs was all over the goddamn field. He was running left. He was running right. I think McKivitz was just like, bro, make up your mind which way you're going to run. I'm tired. So, McKivitz, he wasn't the worst offensive lineman out there, but he wasn't. The offensive line itself just didn't gel this week like they did last week. Yeah. And, again, Aaron Banks wasn't out there now. You started Jalen Moore. That's why I thought Jalen Moore needed to play last week, but no. They didn't go with Jalen Moore last week. They went with Hubbard last week. And then when Hubbard got out there this week, or Brandon Parker, they just didn't look good. I'm telling you, they did not. Yeah. They didn't look good. Like there was tons of pressure on all the quarterbacks, all of them.
Yeah, I felt that that bonehead penalty that McKivitz got. I felt like that.
Did he get one or two?
I know for one of them that he got, like you gotta be, you know what I'm saying? You're the vet out here. Like you gotta not do that. You would expect that from the rookies. I think I put that on social media too. I said you would expect the rookies to get penalties like that. Not you, man. You can't. Like I said, I mean, you have a point. I'm just saying that I expected more from McKivitz out here. I felt like that out of all of the O-line that was out there, that McKivitz should have literally been the best one because he was the only starter that we had out there that had played before. I know we don't have Trent.
Yeah, but that doesn't make him the best one just because he's the only starter out there. He's not a great starter. So he's not going to be the best one all the time. Like, the line is missing in the continuity. So like the starting line is not there. So if you got him playing, he's not Trent Williams where he's gonna make everybody else that much more effective. They're going to take advantage of him 1-on-1, 2-on-1. Like they're gonna take advantage of him. So at the end of the day, like my expectations for Colton McKivitz when the rest of the line isn't there, there's no expectations. Because the line is depleted. So you're gonna try to take advantage of every young person as well as him. They're gonna put more people. They're gonna send, like, you know, there was a play that Dominic Puni made, right? Like in this game, and it was like the pressure came from McKivitz. Puni didn't have a guy to block. Then Puni was like, oh, shoot, I'm not blocking anybody. He turned around and then picked up the guy that McKivitz shaved off to the right.
Yep.
Like, that's bang bangs. That's letting me know that Puni is going to be the starting right guard.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be the starting.
So the right side was fine and the left side struggled. So when you go back and watch the game, you're going to see it. Now, as far as the penalties, they were calling penalties. They called 7 penalties on the 49ers. 7 penalties, 48 yards. Call like you would. I agree. Bonehead penalties got to stop. Penalties, to me, are just lack of understanding and fundamentals. You can't be getting penalties, especially on scoring drives. So I'm with you on that. But I didn't think Colton McKivitz was that bad. He was the best offensive lineman out there, but it's not like he's going to enhance everybody else. Like he's not there. He's not that guy. Like he's like Trent Williams would enhance everybody else's play. Why? Because the attention is, you know, probably going to go towards Trent and everybody else is going to not get doubles and whatever. So I just feel like they're not going to send stunts and all this type of stuff at the other guys. They can feel like they could beat them one-on-one. So if our guys can win their one-on-ones, that's a one-up. I thought last week against the Titans, they did really well. But, you know, Jeffrey Simmons wasn't out there, and that's a big difference when you got that big guy up the middle providing pressure. So that's why I said to Mike Peachy that I really wanted to see how well the depth of the offensive line is going to play against a starting caliber defensive line. And I don't care what nobody say, Cameron Jordan was dressed, and he played. And Chase Young went sick. Like he was getting into the backfield. So the Niners offensive line, if I'm John Lynch, Peachy, yo, Trent, listen, just tell me what you need.
Like right now.
Yeah, just tell me what you need.
Right now.
Yeah,
as soon as the game ended, actually, before the presser
started.
started.
It's halftime.
If I was them, I would have been on the phone with them, just like, yeah.
Halftime, Peachy. I'd have been on the phone halftime. Yo, Trent, man, I got the private jet. Jay York got the jet. Yo, he's about to fly out to Houston and bring you back here, man. We got the deal smacked on the table. We got you some extra guarantees. We're gonna throw in some extra Nikes, or whatever it is you want. Like we got you.
We gonna fix that you know that money that you would lose for not able. Don't even worry about that.
Yeah, we got it.
We
covered.
got you. Don't even worry about that.
We got it covered. You know, it's funny that we talked about the offensive line this bad because they were probably, I don't know, the wide receiving crew was just as weak. Like so, like the depth in the wide receiving room and the depth of the offensive line are probably neck and neck at the weakest room when the main people aren't there. We just talking about depth. So we got to talk about the wide receivers because Ronnie Bell, Trent Taylor, they both should be on the bubble. There was no Chris Conley tonight. There was no Robbie Chosen tonight. I didn't see none of those guys played or didn't get any snaps. But you did get Tay Martin, Danny Gray, which I wanted to see. And then you got the rookie, Jacob Cowan, who finished this game with 50-plus yards off of 4 catches. He had 5 targets in this game for 51 yards. The last play, the last target that he was targeted, PG, in my opinion, and I think every other 49er faithful's opinion, should have been pass interference. Oh, yeah. But for some reason, the refs were referring, and they didn't want to call it.
Yeah. So that was really crazy there. Trent Taylor should be on the bus right now off of this 49ers team.
Yeah, like it's
Gotta go.
It's
Right,
crazy.
he just
So like,
can't. And I know, like even through the game, they're talking about Kittle's on the sideline watching, his favorite player out
This was
there
it.
and Kittle's
This-
guy and all this. Look, I tell you what, we can't have that dude taking up a roster spot for somebody that we really need. We just can't because they're buddies. Like we just can't because he's not good.
I mean, yeah, like
He's not good. Taylor got to go.
He wasn't good in this game, but he was good in the first game.
Taylor got to go.
So it's gonna be. Look, I don't make the roster cuts, and I don't know what the Niners looking for. So
and
the moment we could say Taylor gotta go,
I know
Taylor will make the 53.
Exactly.
Like, yeah. So
which would probably happen because there'll be some kind of excuse, because then when you start doing that, then you have people like, well, if you're gonna look at him that way, then you got to look at blah 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 this way, and you got to do this and all this stuff. I'm just saying that I saw enough out of Trent Taylor the first time.
Based off this game, the bottom two, Trent Taylor, Ronnie Bell, who you picking?
Who am I picking to be cut?
No. Yeah. Out of those two, one gotta go. It was tough. It's tough for me because it's like Ronnie. I felt like they were overly targeting Ronnie Bell.
On purpose, probably.
They were forcing the ball to him. There was a fade route. Like, why is he running that? Like, I know he need to work on it, but why? That's not him. They were making him do stuff that he wasn't used to. I've seen him do. He's not a big time wide receiver, right?
Right.
He's a big big body wide receiver.
I know
is what I'm saying. That's kind of what you want to throw that fade route to.
Yeah.
All the wide receivers, in my opinion, were struggled in creating space and getting open. Jacob Conway did the best out of that because his speed would allow him to take the top off the defense. If it wasn't for the big catch, Jacob Conway would have looked just as mid, but he would have had catches, right?
Right.
Ronnie Bell struggled with drops.
He did.
And then Trent Taylor is just old. It just doesn't look good. It's tough.
It was bad. Cowing, I really like that kid is really special. I think that he's really gonna be special in this offense. I'm very excited about him. When you were bringing up receivers that didn't play, I was kind of interested that Robbie Chosen didn't get out there and get any burn at all.
Yeah, I'm not
You
sure
would
why
think.
he wasn't used or utilized.
Right. To at least, see what was up, because that one right there was more interesting to me than anything.
All right, so last
I thought
week
he was going to be out there.
So and this is what makes it interesting. I'm glad you brought that up. So last week it was Frank Darby had the game. And Frank Darby got cut. Due to an injury. One of these receivers is going to have some type of injury after this game. One of them is going to be released. Now, it's probably going to be the veteran, unfortunately. That's funny. He said Bella's like a Luther Vandross curl in the 80s. Not quite. Y'all crazy. So, it's interesting, right? Like the receiving core, the depth at the receiving core is weak. But the 49ers got a strong 4 and a possible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know what we're going to get from Ricky Pearsall until he plays. The possible is Jacob Conway. And the strong 4, if Brandon Ayuk does extend with the team, you like the 4, right? And then you love the possible of what Jacob Conway is going to bring. Yeah. But I just feel like, is that 3? Ayuk, Jennings, that's 5, right? Not 6. So Ayuk, Jennings, Debo, that's 3. Pearsall, Chris Conley. I got Chris Conley making this wrong. I'm
Me
sorry. I was
too.
trying to figure out who's my other lock.
Yeah.
So I got those 4, and then you got your 2 rookies.
Yeah.
So I don't see how Ronnie Bell makes the roster not after these drops. I don't see how Trent Taylor makes the roster not after his drops.
Oof. He just look rough out there.
Robbie Chosen,
really rough.
I don't see how he makes the roster.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Robbie Chosen, that is his legal name. Like he
Correct.
literally had his name changed to that. Because y'all are laughing and say don't call him Chosen, but that's his name. Like that's his legalized name is Robbie Chosen.
Oh yeah, he changed his name, bro. If his name was still,
the courts and everything, he changed it.
Like it's legal. Like if he would have changed his name, understood. Yeah, but he did.
Well, everybody knows how I feel about Ricky P anyway, so
Well, I can't judge. I can't judge Ricky Pearsall until I see Ricky Pearsall suit up, play in a game that's regulated, whether it's preseason or not. I need to see him play in a game. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, he's our first round pick, and you're hoping that he turns out to be pretty decent.
Yeah.
Tate Martin did catch a couple of good passes. Look, everybody keeps saying that like these receivers didn't look good because of what Jacob Collin did. Jacob Collin was targeted 5 times. He caught 4 receptions. Okay. Tate Martin was targeted 3 times. He caught 2 receptions. Ronnie Bell was targeted 7 times. He caught 2 receptions. Trent Taylor was targeted 5 times. He caught 2 receptions. Danny Gray was targeted 3 times. He caught 1 reception. So Danny Gray probably was the worst out of all of them. And then it's like when you say target, it means that the ball was going to them. But then Ronnie Bell, I think he had I want to say he had 3 drops.
Yeah.
But then there was a pass that fade route wasn't catchable. And then there was another pass that wasn't catchable. So you can't really count him for the ones that aren't catchable. But the ones that his hands touched, he should have caught. Like even that off timing throw from Brandon Allen. But if you go back and watch it, it was like Ronnie Bell, like he stopped on his route and then he lost track of the ball because he didn't know Allen was scrambling. So he ran his route and then it was a scramble play. It was a broken down play. And then he tried to take off and try to find the tracking. That was the deep pass that he lost. So like not too many people are catching that pass. Maybe Brandon Ayuk. Debo drops that pass too any given day.
Oh, The one that went into the end zone for Trent Taylor. Trent Taylor should have caught that ball.
Okay.
He should have caught it.
Got you. Okay. Look, all I know is these receivers got to get their stuff together if they trying to make this roster. Okay. Now, I don't know about Ricky Pearsall. Don't know what his injury status. He is listed day to day. Okay. That's what we know. That's what Kyle Shanahan just said. It's about the running backs because I liked what I saw from Matt freaking Breida.
Yes.
Other than that,
a vast improvement from last week. And I think it's just because he was able to practice. Like he didn't just roll out of bed and come in and, hit the field. So I think that definitely made a difference. I liked what I saw from Breida too.
I thought Matt Breida was the guy. I thought he was the guy that was featured. He was the running back with the most yards, 7 carries for 24. Even though Josh Dobbs led the team in rushing, 3 carries for 25 yards with the touchdown. But I liked what I saw from Matt Breida. And if you play fantasy football, Matt Breida he got you a couple points. He got you like 6, almost 7 points. For a backup guy, that's not too bad. Like you could use them 6 or 7 points. He had
a pretty nice catch.
Yeah, I didn't even get to the catch.
I was glad to see that.
I know you were. Because that's what Kyle Shanahan likes.
Yes.
Listen, Matt Breida, he in his best run was awesome. That wasn't the penalty you on McKivitz,
oh, you know what? Crap. Yes, it was. That's why it made me mad. That's exactly what it. Yes, that was when it was.
So like the penalties make me mad.
Right.
Penalties make me mad. Drops make me mad. Missed tackles make me more mad.
Yeah, me too.
We'll talk about the missed tackles when we break this game down on a Nitty Gritty Niner show tomorrow. But let's talk about overall defensively, man. Like, who did you like defensively? Like, who stood out to you today? Who's not going to be on the bubble defensively for Peachy?
Oh, well, we know that Mustafa is definitely not going to be on the bubble. He's definitely making the 53. And I
didn't think he played a good game. I thought this was a bad game for Mustafa. I saw 2 missed tackles. That's what I saw. I saw him get blocked out of a play. Bro, you better shed that block. You can't let Taysom Hill block you.
I thought maybe, like, for Mustafa, I felt like that my expectations were, like, really high because we were down in the red zone again, and remember what he did last week with the Titans. And
they made sure they didn't run it that way this time.
They made sure that it was a different way this time. So they were definitely paying attention to what happened because that was not the case this time. So anybody who watched Breezie on Bleacher just a little while ago, Robinson.
Curtis Robinson.
He was completely impressive. Just impressive.
Dang, that's tough, right? So I'm looking at this. I'm looking at who played tonight, right? And then I'm thinking about the linebacking room.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy. It's gonna be.
I don't
crazy.
see. I think Jalen Graham gets cut because of Curtis Robinson.
Curtis Robinson has popped in both games. He's popped in the last game against the Titans and this one as well. And I have a feeling, and I feel the same way that you do. There are now, I promise you that right now there are NFL teams salivating to see who the 49ers
gonna release.
Are releasing, of course.
Curtis Robinson's getting a job if he's
They line up every year to see who the 49ers are going to release. Like, they literally wait for that because they're always like, what is it they always say? They can't keep them all.
They can't keep them all. Retro Gamer _07 says, I gotta admit, Curtis Robinson did good tonight. So he's put together 2 back-to-back solid performances. So it's gonna be you can't let him go. I know this is not the cut down show, but every time you watch these games, like you be like, dang, like they making it a strong case to not get cut, like, right? And I don't think Curtis Robinson is the player you cut and try to stash on the practice squad because, like Peachy just said, he's getting picked up. The Bills, away. Matt Milano is going to be out for a while.
Yes.
And Curtis Robinson will be the starting linebacker for the Buffalo Bills the moment he slipped. Now, Demetrius Flanagan fouls. This might be a time where the Niners walk away from him to keep Jalen Graham on this roster. Because I believe Jalen Graham could do what Flanagan Fowles does on special teams as well as a Mike linebacker. But Tatum Bethune is, to me, the replacement for Demetrius Flanagan Fowles. It's so weird. Tatum Bethune had 10 tackles, led the team in tackles, put up Dre Greenlaw numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, there was some...
The rookies was balling today.
Yeah. And Warner just had a big smile on his face. Like, he was just over there and watched them. And with that one with the hard hit, the one that who was the one that hit what's his name out of bounds, knocked him out of bounds or whatever, and Warner had stink face. He had
Darrell Luter Jr.
Yeah,
that was Darrell Luter Jr. Oh, you see, he not a linebacker, so you threw me off.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, Warner
we'll
was
get to him
was
too, because he missed some tackles, but he had a big hit.
To see that, they love the ones that can hit and go after the ball and things like that. So
I think Flanagan Fowles, colleague, will be him and Jalen Mahoney. I think are going to be on that bubble. I think. I like what I saw from Devondre Campbell, so he's a lock. And I don't hate to say it, but D Winters is a lock. Like, that cat got to miss this preseason game. It was the daggone injury. That dude getting veteran treatment.
They tried to say whatever they said, but it's just because he's exactly.
Yeah, he's gonna be the guy.
Making it, yeah.
Let's talk about these corners, because you just mentioned one. Darrell Luter Jr., 4 tackles, 3 solos. He had a pass deflection in this game, also a big hit. He had a couple of missed tackles. I got to look at the stat sheet once it's revealed so I can see if they scored missed tackles on him. But I know from my own eyes, I saw at least one from him.
Yeah.
But I thought the best corner in this game, they showed up. Samuel Womack III, Darrell Luter Jr., and Renardo Green showed up. I thought Rock Usain was the weakest link tonight.
I agree. I agree. And I think that Rock Usain, I think that he may be finding himself on the bubble.
He had a big PI, man. It was ticky-tacky.
Yeah.
But you can't be handsy 5 yards down the field, dog. You gotta let him go.
Yep.
You gotta let him go. You know what I mean? You gotta let him go. But I think you're right. I think Yassine is gonna be gone. And it is what it is. But he's a veteran, and if he doesn't clear waivers, I'm sure the Niners will love to put him on the practice squad.
Yeah.
But Renardo Green, I think, is going to be the steal in this draft. And I know you can't be like, how is a second round pick going to be a steal? Do you know how hard it is to make it on this roster as a DB?
Exactly.
With Deommodore Lenoir, who's going to be playing like an all-pro this season.
Yep.
You got the all-pro Travarius Mooney-Ward. Like, it's tough. But if he can keep going out there and continue stacking days, he got beat on one play. And he was lined up in the slot, and it was Chris Olave. I'm not saying because Chris Olave is up that Chris Olave is going to be that guy. Like, he's not there yet due to injuries, quarterback situations out there, but we know he has the ability to be that number one guy. And so they put him in the slot, and on one play, and when I tell you, I watched Renardo Green run with him step by step, day by day. Like, it was literally, and it was no flag. It was just a good throw right in front of him.
It was really good. If I'm not mistaken, Olave is the Saints' number one receiver. So
he is their number one. So what I'm trying
number one receiver.
But he's not a. What I'm trying. Brandon Ayuk's our number one wide receiver, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're like two peas in the pod. Is what I'm trying to say. They kind of got the same stigma on them as of right now. But I think, first of all, let me just be the first to say that I think Derek Carr is ass. Like, I don't think he's good at all. And if the Niners starting defense was out there, he wouldn't have completed nothing. Like, I really don't think he's that good of a quarterback. And I was so mad that we couldn't get to him because he's just not good. I think he's butt cheeks, straight up. Now, he did lead his team on a scoring drive on some backup players on the 49ers defense. But I promise you, if that Niners defense was out there, he would have been in the dirt. He is. I'm telling you, he's just not good. And that's why your boy from Ohio State, Chris Olave, may not ever soar to that true number one, even though he is a true number one. That's why I said that.
That makes sense. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, overall, like, Peachy, like, all right, the defense, we'll do grades tomorrow, but overall, the defense played, they gave up 10 points.
I was really impressed with the defense overall. I thought that the defense did a great job. It really made me feel a lot better about the depth on this roster and the ones that we do keep, like how awesome it's going to be for, us to be able to, have like some positions interchangeable. Like when you put somebody else out there, you know what I'm saying, to get some rest and put somebody else out there and it made me feel a lot better. There's a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent on this defense.
Really sad. Oh, Miss Leslie's in the building. She says, I'm still not happy with tackling techniques. They be going for the hit stick. They are literally trying to hit the ball. So here's what I need the 49ers to do fundamentally. I know they want to play violent, and I'm with that 100%, right? What they need to do is they need to fundamentally wrap.
Right.
They got to get back to that swarm mentality.
Yes.
Where the first guy raps.
Right.
The second guy could come in and lay the big boom.
Mm-hmm.
And then and if there's another guy in there, they punch it.
Yep.
So
You're
they
right.
got it. That's what swarm was all about. I don't care what the acronym said. F the acronym. It really meant swarm like killer bees. Like
Yeah.
that's what it meant.
And you're right.
And that's what
Yeah.
they're not doing. You got one guy trying to make a big hit. He's not rapping and tackling. How many times did you see them big ass running backs bounce off those big hits? You can't big hit James Robinson, and Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
Those are big running backs.
Yeah.
Remember 2 years ago, Jamal Williams led the league in touchdowns. He had like
Yes.
30 plus touchdowns. And they were all on the goal line. You couldn't stop them.
Yep.
They gotta be different when it comes to that. They gotta get back to the fundamentals, and that
That's
is
true.
my. I'm glad you brought that up, Miss Leslie. That's my only flaw. The missed tackles are coming because the fundamentals are lacking, which I expect from young guys that aren't playing. But I'm gonna tell you right now, week 1 against the Jets, if I see a missed tackle because they try to get a big hit, I'm going to flip the script. Literally. Flip the script.
Yeah, I still would like for them to focus more on this run defense.
It's tough.
But, you know.
I don't know why it's tough, but
It just seems to be tough for some
well,
reason.
again, I'm a put a chill pause on it because our run stuffers aren't really out there, and the ones that they're putting in the game are just working through. Now, the play that Taysom Hill got a big gain on was because it wasn't because of the front. What they did was the offensive line blocked the defensive front, but Taysom Hill was coming out and blocking the safety, which was Malik Mustafa. So Malik has to find a way to shed that block.
Yeah.
He has to find a way to, like you're on a sled, like bam, put the hands on him and just get him out your way. Because you gotta be the first person to make contact.
Yeah.
If Taysom Hill is pushing you down the field 5 or 10 yards, it's a big gap for their running back to just go. Pew. And I was watching Jordan Mims, Jamal Williams, like all their running backs were just gashing us up the middle.
Yep.
And so I'm gonna put a slight pause on it because the big guys, the big boys, the starter guys aren't out there. But again, if it happens in the real game,
Right.
we'll have to flip the script because
Exactly.
that's what they needed to have addressed in the offseason.
Yep. You're right. Because some of the things that I saw out there was like what we saw last year. And we have we're supposed to have like a new defensive coordinator, a new, fundamental setup. They're focusing on different things or whatever. But for some reason, they still just got to get better at the run. And that's just so I'm just wondering how much they're practicing that against the run. But next week, the starters, I guess, are going to play quite a bit. So hopefully we'll be able to tell. Now, Vegas doesn't have big, huge running backs like the Saints do or the Titans have that
Zamir
one.
White. I like Zamir White. Though.
Right.
I do like
But
Zamir White.
so the Saints just have a bunch of bullies. Like they just decided that, since they were weak at this, they're going to just bully people and just run over them, and that's it.
That's a good point.
So let's just get big, huge, tough running backs, and we're just gonna bully, people like they used to do back in the day. They're running backs. That's their philosophy. They're bringing back something that's old school that they used to do a long time ago. So, yeah, I hope that they do practice that. Think about that and practice and press that run defense a little bit more.
Terradome says they were 4.8 per carry at the half. The Niners definitely cleaned it up because they were 1 yard less at the end of the game.
Yeah.
The thing is, they rushed for 134 yards off of 35 attempts. Like, they made it a game plan to run the ball 30-plus times.
Yeah.
The Niners actually averaged more yards per carry at 4.5, but they only ran the ball 21 times. The Niners need to get that number up into the 30s. They did win this game, but when the Niners rush the ball 30 times, they don't lose.
That's right.
It's like weird. It's a weird number. The reason why I really like the defense in this game is because they forced the Saints to go 1 for 11 on third down. That is beauty to my ears. But the score sucked, right? Like, offensively, it's like, damn, they went 1 for 11 on third down. They were 9% on third down, and you only won by 2 field goals. Should have been 3. He missed that. Let's talk about special teams, and we'll dip up out of here because we're going to bring everybody the Nitty Gritty Niners show tomorrow night. We'll go through the game. We'll do our grades and stuff like that. But Rob D, what's going on? Special teams. Because I thought the special teams, which was the worst unit last week, may have been the best unit this week.
It was really good. And let's talk about our punter.
Yep.
Oh, my
Presley Harvin
goodness.
the third.
Yes.
4 punts, a
Wow.
$1.87. All 4 punts.
Like it wasn't nothing.
All 4 punts. Well, it's not that. It's where he placed it. All 4 punts were inside the 20.
Yes.
So the field position for the Saints was terrible. Now, I thought that the Niners, the special teams, the coverage, you can't. It's not just on him. He punts the ball, it lands, it rips, rolls, but the coverage team was able to down it. And I think you got to give that special teams unit like the credit because all 4 of them they got inside the 20-yard line. And
that was really nice to see.
Harvin is nice. Harvin is nice. So I got to ask you this question because we don't got to spend too much time on it, but could Harvin make a push for Mitch Wisnowski's job?
Wow. I think it would be really hard for him to do that. I know that Wish is banged up or whatever he's got going on right now. Now,
man,
who knows whether he's, but you know where I'm going with that. I would love for Harvin to take that because I'm telling you, it was nice. It was really nice. What would even be nicer is for us to have 2. Well, that way, but that ain't how it works.
Of
course not. I know that. You have
ain't no team going to sign
No,
two
you're not
going to
have two punters to the 53, but I'm just saying, I don't know.
I'm just saying if Mitch isn't healthy.
Right.
Can his injury hinder the 49ers if he's not healthy? Can his injury hinder the Niners? I think that's a fair question.
Well, yeah, it definitely can.
Right. So you have to make an executive decision.
Right.
And probably shut him down if his injury. Because here's the thing. The Niners, let's just say he comes back from the injury and then he has one of those terrible seasons. Let's not act like Mitch has had a great season every single year he's been with the 49ers.
That's
like his
true.
rookie season was amazing. Then he took a weird turn. And then, then he got his extension, right? And now he's here. So I'm just could this be a person that you put on season-ending IR and sign this kid, and now you got a healthy punter for the season that can do what you need to do with the football. It's just a 1 year deal. You don't have to sign him for 2 years.
Right.
It's just a 1 year. He's already signed for 1 year anyway. So if you release him, he's only going to get 40-something% of that contract. You keep him on the contract for about $1 million too. You put Mitch Wisnowski, because that's the thing, right? Mitch Wisnowski gets hurt. Somebody picking this kid up. I didn't say he wasn't, and I didn't say he wasn't on point last season, but he's hurt right now. I'm asking, my question is, will his injury hinder him from being the guy this season? That's kind of like where I'm coming with it. Like, will he still be able to produce like he did last season? Based off of whatever this injury is, it seems like it's something that's nagging, and it's in his legs, and he needs his legs.
Exactly. And field position, especially with the new rules and all this stuff that they have going on, is vital. You need to try to set teams back beyond the 20. Like, every time that you kick it, that's what needs to happen. And if his leg is going to stop him from doing that, then no, we can't do that. Special teams is vital to this team.
I tell you what, it's something to monitor. KJ Carter says he was inconsistent with the Steelers. Yeah, you know what? This ain't the Steelers. There's something about when you put on the red and gold, like you just live you play your best life.
Yep.
Like I'm Josh Dobbs was ass for every team he played for. He don't look ass at all in the red and gold.
I was about to say that, and sometimes it just has to do with
new environment.
Who's coaching you, and what you're learning.
Good
because
point.
Dobbs just looks different. It looks completely different here.
I'm not trying to replace Mitch. I'm just wondering, how severe is his injury? How serious is the injury? It seems like we're not really getting updates, things like that. So it's a little nerve-wracking to know that your punter may not be 100% going into a Super Bowl bound season. So, it's stuff like that. Strawberry Reacts is why we overreact. This is an overreaction show.
That is what we do. Welcome to the Nitty Gritty Niners overreaction shows. We do this after every single game that we play in preseason and in the regular season.
Right. Jake Moody went 3 for 4, missed the 51-yard field goal.
That one was. Whew. I don't know. Was it the hold?
No, I mean, the fucking pressure up front.
Because
they got through. Did you see the pressure bust through the line?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that probably
they were talking about it too. They were saying that it was almost that it could have turned out to be something bad for the Saints. It was that close.
That probably would affect
a
kick to make it go some type of way other than the middle. All his other kicks went down the middle, so they were blocked up front. So
all of them.
If there was one special team flaw, it was that one. It was that one play.
Yeah.
I thought the coverage was good. I thought the returns were good. I thought everything on special teams was good. Let's revert back and finish this show on the quarterback situation, because I know people saying, is Brock, Strawberry Reacts, so Brock not making the 53 because he looked bad? Come on, man. That's a silly question.
No, but stop that.
That's a silly question. But at the end of the day, let's talk about this quarterback 2 controversy.
Yes.
Because what? Okay. I didn't think Brandon Allen looked bad.
He didn't.
He just didn't look spectacular. It was kind of boring. Maybe. First of all, he finished 7 for 10. And Mordecai went 4 for 6. So
Mordecai, I'll tell you what, man, he's
what?
He's something.
He's something against fucking 3s and 4s.
No,
he
but
sure
I'm
is.
just saying.
He's nothing. He's absolutely nothing. He will be nothing until he gets an opportunity to go out there against a real defense. I'm just telling you. My thing is You want to know why Dobbs is quarterback 2 for me? It's because he actually started as a quarterback in this league, and he's seen real defenses.
Yeah.
And he has the athleticism and the ability to do things. I really feel like he's a fun football player. Now, I feel like nobody is worried about him getting injured like they would some other quarterback that used to wear number 5. But at the end of the day, like, even with the team, Josh Dobbs is going to go out there and make some plays.
He is.
Like, you know what I mean? So, I'm just saying.
I think that Kyle is going to. Okay, Callie, whatever. So, Kyle.
This is funny.
Kyle is going to put some packages in for Dobbs. I'm telling you, it's gonna be nice. It's really nice to have a quarterback like that who can also like show that mobility, and he's also very, very intelligent. So I'm telling you that we're going to see a lot of Dobbs in this offense this season.
Well, I think the question is going to, come down to, like they got the Niners are going to have to choose between 3 quarterbacks. One of them's going to be your quarterback 2. One's going to be your emergency. And then I think one you might put on the practice squad, or right? And so they kind of are set up for that. I think Tanner Mordecai shows more promise to me than Brandon Allen. It's kind of weird, right? Like, it's kind of weird, like how the room is shaping up. I don't think the Niners are in a bad situation in that quarterback room. Like, they all came out here today. Statistically, Josh Dobbs was the worst. I mean, well, second worst. Brock Purdy was the worst, but I meant as far as quarterback 2.
Right.
Statistically, Josh Dobbs was the worst out of the 3.
Yeah.
But he just looked so spectacular.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, he looked really good when a play broke down. And in the NFL, if the Niners don't have the luxury of having a great offensive line, so every play is a potential play where it's going to break down.
Yep, that's true.
You're going to need a guy like Josh Dobbs. God forbid your QB1 goes down.
Yeah.
You're going to need somebody like Josh Dobbs that has actual, wins as a starting quarterback in the NFL to go out there. And again, he just looks like he's playing better on a team that has a different type of culture. Culture means everything. Like, the culture shift or that can change the way you play. Like,
right.
You talk about Presley Harvin. He's coming in here. He's kicking well. It's not Pittsburgh. It's a different environment. Maybe the locker room really is the golden ticket. Like, you come into this locker room,
possible.
You are just it's all greatness.
Yeah.
Like, and when you feel that aura, it's gonna upgrade your game. Now, I need Ronnie Bell to get that shit. I don't know why he's struggling dropping balls, but at the end of the day, like. That quarterback position is gonna be tough. Like, how they gonna pick the 2? I wouldn't be surprised if it's Brandon Allen, because he's the veteran on the team. Like, he's been here the longest. But Josh Dobbs, if you waive Josh Dobbs, he's getting picked up.
Oh, like immediately, and he may even get picked up by Minnesota.
Yes.
They will snatch him like right away.
Interesting.
And there are also other teams that are looking at their quarterback situation. That's why I think I put on social media that we literally have the best quarterback room in the National Football League. Like, there's so many places where Dobbs could go. Like, so many teams, freaking the Sea Chickens, they're up in the air about Geno and everything like that. So it wouldn't surprise me. Geno had wanted them to look at his contract situation in the offseason, and they wouldn't even do it. So it's just so I'm telling you that there's no way that they could put him out there and expect to get him back, because it's not happening. As soon as they were to do it, somebody would pick him up, and we wouldn't get him back. And if he goes to Minnesota, and then we play Minnesota, week 2? I would just, no. So, because Dobbs would be the best quarterback on that Vikings roster. And with him already knowing how Minnesota plays, with the experience he's got there, I'm pretty sure that he would be the starter. Like, he'd automatically start. And I just think that would be a big mistake. And I wasn't saying that Mordecai was in competition for quarterback 2. I was just talking about how I just liked the way that he played.
Yeah, you said
he did look good.
He looked real good tonight. He looked real good.
Even if he was going against the 3s and 4s.
But I mean, I'll look good go against 3s and 4s. I'm just saying he looked good. Like, Brock, he looked good. I understand what Brock did, and I understand what Brock was able to do when he came into a game. I don't think Mordecai has the processing like Brock, though.
Oh yeah.
So the difference between Brock Purdy and when he played and he was with the 3rd string, he also beat out the 3rd string.
Right. Yeah.
Right? I don't think Tanner Mordecai is going to beat out the 2nd or 3rd string guy.
No.
Because I don't think he has that quick processing, but I definitely like his play, like on the football field. So he's only going up against 3rd string guys because that's how it's set up for him to go up against. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, at the end of the day, like, if he got an opportunity, then we'll really know. We didn't know what Brock was going to do until he got the opportunity.
Exactly.
So
that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Brock wasn't beating out the 2nd guy or the 1st guy.
So,
but when the 1st and 2nd guy went out, Brock came in and said, "Hey, man, I know I got to get this ball out of my hand quick."
Yeah. So I think that next week, especially since Kyle's already announced that the starters are going to play quite a bit next week, all of them, he's going to try to get as many of them out there as he possibly can. I think that what happens next week with the way the way that the quarterbacks are played is gonna kind of give you an indication on how that's going, because the 27th is the 53 day. That's the day where it has to be down to 53. Because remember, guys, we don't have that in the middle anymore. It just goes straight from the roster down to 53. You just cut down to 53, practice squad, all that stuff. But they don't have that where you chop it, and I think it was like 90 something to 70 something, and then 53 is just straight down 90 something.
So our last game's on the 25th.
Yes,
I thought it was the 25th. Is it the 25th or the 4th? It's on the Saturday. So the last game's on the 24th.
Oh, 24th. Okay. Yep.
Oh no, it's on a Friday night.
Oh, okay.
Is it? Yes.
Okay.
So the last game's on the 23rd. It's a late game.
Oh, okay.
And it ends that morning, right? And then the 27th, that Tuesday, they got to make the cuts. Okay?
Yep.
So that's what Peachy's talking about.
Cut down Tuesday.
Cut down Tuesday.
To
Everything happens on a
53.
Tuesday.
Always.
Big Daddy Niners. Hey, Breezy, did you hear that they was going to be working on the special play called Per Dog? It's a special play for Purdy where either Debo or you going to be thrown. But I believe that's the play. I think that's the play that Debo was talking about, Purdy was talking about as well.
Yeah.
So, like, look, Brock Purdy went 2 for 7 in this game. I'm not worried one bit. Not worried one bit about Brock Purdy. I think 2 for 6, excuse me. I think Brock Purdy is going to be just fine when he's out there working with the players that he's used to working with. He came out there.
It's going to kill him in the morning.
They're probably going to kill him. But at the end of the day, the context is he had no, other than Colton McKivitz, he was unfamiliar with all those players. Now, and the reason why is because those are guys that are running with the second unit. That's why you saw when Josh Dobbs came in the game, you saw rhythm, you saw flow, you saw stuff start to happen. Why? Because he's used to throwing to those guys.
Yes.
Whereas Brock Purdy wasn't. And so no starting unit. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they make Brock Purdy better. It's just that that's the continuity of the guys that he's used to playing with. Now, he hasn't been playing with Brandon Ayuk, but he has been playing with Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel didn't play in his game. Jawan Jennings didn't play in his game. So those guys that he has that continuity with, that's why he probably struggled. He's expecting guys to be here, and they're going a different route. It's a bunch of miscommunication out there, for Brock Purdy. So I'm not worried about it. Like Peachy said, Kyle said that the guys are going to be planning to play on the Friday game, because they'll get some extra rest. Not really, because that's a short week. Oh, shoot. They got to fly out to Vegas in 2 days. So we'll see. Oh, that's why Kyle didn't play those guys tonight. It's a short week. They got to play Friday. And he wanted to get, so all these guys that we watch play a lot tonight probably won't play.
Right.
Makes perfect sense. Yep. I get it now. Guys, thanks you for tuning in to the Overreaction Show. We will be back. The WayneBreezie Show will be tomorrow morning, 11 or 12 noon. Nitty Gritty Niners will be that evening at 9 p.m. The B.A.M Show at 4 p.m. So you get 3 shows on Monday. So make sure you lock into the channel. Hit that like button. If you're new to the stream, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the content. Tomorrow's going to be fun because I'm going to actually have some fun with Josh Dobbs. I really love the way he played. I'll probably do the whole show on Josh Dobbs. So maybe I'll have you guys do something where you guys can call in and give your take on tomorrow. I don't know. I haven't decided. But I love you guys. We love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We out this joint, man. It's late over here on
Good
the
night.
East Coast. Peace out.
Hey.
Breezy,
Gritty, this that 9
Mo's nose.
Peachy,
Fair to God.
it's about that time, everybody turn your TVs on. The Mo's knows Peachy, Breezy, and Fair to God. They keep it nitty gritty when they bring you 9 to talk. We 2 gorilla, silverback, 9 silver
You know it's
hawks.
busting good discussion cause we get it in. Every time we grinding, I was 8 to 10. We always play to win. The faithful going hard. It's WayneBreezie, Peachy, Mo's nose, and Fair to God. Let's get it.
Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. We outline players up in chalk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall.